Please subscribe.
We went right to Australia for this. Hyundai's new Venue subcompact SUV is conventional. There are no idiosyncrasies, no curveballs, and nothing about it is creative. It's attractive, yet not delightful. It utilizes its inside space proficiently regardless of whether it's not exactly open. It isn't speedy, and that won't make any difference by any stretch of the imagination. Hyundai is going to sell a bajillion of them. The Venue viably replaces the accent subcompact hatchback in Hyundai's line. Truly, there was an accent bring forth that sold in little numbers to those wacky erraticisms who still think genuine seals are flawless bundles for everyday living. Truly, the Venue is additionally a hatchback. But since it rides somewhat high, has a dull nose with a major grille, and flexes some body cladding along its wheel wells, the market sees it as a hybrid. In capacity, be that as it may, it's a front-wheel drive economy vehicle fueled by a transversely mounted 1.6-liter inline-four. All-wheel drive isn't a choice here. In the Hyundai progression of hybrids, it's the stay at the base, beneath the Kona. For those keeping track of who's winning, the Hyundai currently offers 6 hybrids, with the new, huge Palisade as the top. Hyundai additionally makes a few vehicles. Hyundai's architects have turned out to be talented at creating lovable-looking hybrid thingies. The Venue's extents are like those of the Nissan Kicks, with some unpretentious decrease of the tumble home from the rooftop to the beltline. It's this level, boxier look that was successful in giving the Palisade a slight rough terrain appearance. It's a return to outdated, level-fendered vehicles, for example, the first Land Rover, the International Scout, and the early Jeep Wagoneers. It works. Hyundai squeezed journalistic enthusiasm for the Korean-made Venue by holding the basic occasion in not close by Noosa, Queensland, Australia. The benefit of the Sunshine Coast locale is dynamite view and some sweet streets. The disservice is that in Australia, they drive on the left half of the street, and vehicles in that market put the guiding wheel on the right-hand side. Likewise, the Aussie-spec Venues are marginally not quite the same as North American forms in a couple of different ways, most eminently in transmission accessibility. Australia-bound Venues can be had with the 6-speed manual or 6-speed program transmission. Those close by were good hand drive and utilized the 6-speed programmed. In the interim, all Venues clearing United States traditions will be left-handers. Base models will accompany a 6-speed manual, and upper trims will offer a persistently factor transmission. Under its accessible differentiating shading rooftop lies the Venue's most noteworthy resource, the inside. For a vehicle that is anticipated to have a base cost close $18,000, the inward Venue is dreadfully bewildering. There's nothing surprising about the plan, yet the materials utilized all through feel, look, and fit top rack. That is best in class, as in there are $40,000 machines out there that don't coordinate them. Clear and viable, the instrumentation is 2 straightforward dial measures, a tachometer and speedometer with an advanced presentation between them, with the ventilation controls just to one side, or ideal, on the inside stack. On the Venues in Oz, those vent controls were 3 basic dials, with 1 to pick how hot or cold the air ought to be, 1 to coordinate where that air ought to go, and the 3rd to control how rapidly the fan should push that air. Hello, those controls chipped away at the 1986 Ford Taurus, and they're an invigorating and sweet return now. Normally, the Venue has a touchscreen on its run. It's a 8.0-inch shading show, as the present purchasers have gotten onto the way that these screens are modest, and no vehicle can contend adequately without a decent measured one. It's a fresh show that functions admirably with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, at any rate in the Southern Hemisphere. In Australia, the Venue is cut out either in base active or Vein Elite levels, yet in the US it will be sold as either a say or a sell. The press-prepared Venues were all elites with well-molded material seats and bunches of gadgetry. That gadgetry incorporates back-stopping sensors to go with the rear-view camera, route, forward crash notice, and path keeping. A large portion of those are standard on the base vehicle also, since tech is currently a prerequisite to pull in more youthful, section-level purchasers. There's not a great deal of front shoulder room in the Venue, 1.6 inches less than the effectively tight Kona. What's more, there's not a great deal of room in the rearward sitting arrangement for those limbs prominently known as legs. But on the off chance that the tots are minor, and the guardians thin, it's feasible. There's 19 cubic feet of capacity behind the second push situate when it's up, around 4 solid shapes in excess of another Toyota Camry's trunk holds, and that extends to 32 cubic feet when the back seat is collapsed. While 15-inch Hagel/65 R15 tires will be standard on every single American Venue, the elite models available wore the discretionary 17-inch wheels with 205/55 R17 radials. The dealing with can be condensed in single word: kind-hearted. The guiding is open, yet it doesn't have anything intriguing to discuss. Appraised at 121 pull in Australia, that number may modify somewhat for the US. The 1.6-liter is serene in activity yet stressed when given the spikes from a voyage, even after the transmission snaps down 2 or 3 apparatuses. The Venue is likely going to walk around 60 miles per hour in less than 10 seconds, yet not significantly, not as much as that. The brakes function admirably, with plates in advance and drums toward the rear. This outing to the supernatural place where there is Oz was a preview of what's to want Hyundai's Venue here in the US. The last assessment should be after this present market's condition is tried. In any case, please, this is an appealing, reduced hybrid in a world that is as of now seething for minimal hybrids. This is as close as Hyundai has come to having a form of the Kia Soul to sell as its own. It's plainly better than this Ford EcoSport, and at any rate a counterpart for the Nissan Kicks in ease of use, driving, and hardware. The present normal vehicle is unfathomably superior to a common vehicle from only 4 or 5 years back. What's more, calling the Venue customary isn't to damn it with swoon acclaim. It's to perceive the truth that customary today exists on a higher plane.